There's a lot that happens before that first day in the studio. My name is Bill Wade. I'm the founder and the executive artistic director of Inlet Dance Theatre. So the motive for beginning a project is quite varied. In this situation, the composer came to me and said, I wrote this ballet. Would you consider doing this? And I kind of did some research, had a couple meetings with him, and I decided I was really intrigued by what he was wanting to say using the framework of the Tempest.
In the play, Caliban is descended from the witch Sycorax, who was the leader of the island, the queen. So when Prospero comes, he deposes the queen and captures and enslaves Caliban, who is the rightful heir. And his ascension is his return to his lineage and to his royalty, right? But then thinking it through in terms of colonization, it could be the entire culture's return and ascending past that colonial history.
I need to know more about the why. If I have a really strong why, then you can pursue those things. I do a lot of research first. I just start, what's the history of that, and digging into that, and it's kind of eye-opening, right? And then it starts giving you things from different lenses. There is very much a, listening to who you're working with empathy, real listening. And then after you do that really due diligence on listening, we move into the ideate phase. So it's ideas, 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 ideas. Try not to quantify what you're doing. Don't judge what you're doing. It's like just dumping the whole bin of Legos out. And it's so big, it just takes a while to dump it all out. And then we can sift through it later. Crazy ideas, silly ideas, serious ideas, don't place value on any of them. So after ideating, we start realizing, well, this image really, really resonates. I have to sit back and think, if I am a non-dancing person in the audience, and we have a pretty broad array of who comes to Inlet concerts, right? How do we create images that people can really understand what they're looking at? So that becomes sort of the grid that we use. This is not about me being an artiste. That's so 20th century. And I'm like, no, this is about me having conversation with people rather than this is what the dance is supposed to be about. Is it really though? Are they seeing that this is what it's about? Oh, I just thought, what if you reach in front of his face and pull his chin up to look at you? Not that he's gonna see you fully. There you go. Nice. Oh, that was nice cradling in the elbow? Yes.
My name is Stephanie Ruth Roston. I've been with Inlet, coming to the close of my 3rd year. We talk about the difference between being a dancer and being an artist, and there's a lot of artistry involved in taking somebody else's movement and mapping it onto your own body. But there's a different type of artistry when you're also involved in the very creation aspect of it. And so I feel like there's a little bit more freedom for me to make choices within my character or have a bigger stake in the game.
I've really fallen in love with the multiple diverse vantage points in the room. And it's this whole thing about none of us are as smart as all of us combined. So combining all of that information. I have to drive the process, but I think that, their ideas inform and really kind of fill out what this could possibly be. What might this be? One of the things that I love is I never know what it's going to look like at the end when I start. And I love all of us figuring out what that might look like and sitting down and talking about different aspects. You need to listen to your performers because their physicalized experiences are really informative in the process, right?
Love without justice is like weakness.
Yes.
Nothing happens. Justice without love is cruel, is harsh.
Right.
And so like Caliban's problem is that it's like too cruel, too harsh. They're not even able to be reconciled. Whereas Ariel's problem is it's too watery,
Right.
too loving,
Too
not able
pleasing.
to actually get stuff done.
Make change happen. Yeah, right, exactly. All of the mind speaking into the process helps distill what it should be so that the people in the audience don't feel left out. Because otherwise they're just gonna be like, wow, they can sure do things with their bodies that we can't do. And that's like, so? Having said that, you also don't want to water down what you're doing so well, so there, technical virtuosity is why we watch the Olympics. You know what I mean? Some of this movement is really, really wild, but if we dig into it with rigor, then you have that aspect of like, wow, the body is amazing, look what it can do. You're not removing that from it just because you're having conversation with the community. Like, don't dumb down your artwork, scale it appropriately to who you're talking to, which means you have to know who you're talking to. I realize that I've stumbled across a model that might be a healthier model than what I've experienced in the dance world. So my dancers, my company, I focus on them first. I want to make sure that I'm giving the best that I was given to my dancers, because that process is really transformative.
My name is Mason Alexander. Is going back to my time as a trainee, choreographer comes in, they have their set vision, and the dancers just do what the choreographer says, which is kind of the normal deal, as opposed to coming in here and being able to feel like, oh, I'm not just a body in the room. I am an asset, and I have value here, and I have input. Being able to be a part of that process firsthand has triggered a lot of growth in me, knowing no matter your title, no matter your experience, you have something to bring to the table.
Good leadership is empowering others to make choices and to make decisions.
People are realizing the more of us are involved in the process, the more of us that will benefit at the end of it, with the end result. The framework is being questioned. We're all walking through right now in this huge cultural shift. Part of that is, examining hierarchy. Talent is universal. Access to developing it is not universal. I'm going to do what I can while I'm here to fix that.